Hey, great job making it to the end of this section. And we've covered quite a bit, gone through fairly quickly. And I hope you had an opportunity to try out some of the code. So this lesson is going to be a code review. And this is also where we go in and we try out the application just to make sure that it's working as expected. So I'm going to try to draw that happy face again. Make some colors here, clear it, save it. My tab wider, I can make it thinner. So all of that seems to be working. Everything looks like it's working properly and as expected. So don't mind the artwork. Now we can save it to the computer. So clicking save, and that's going to output that into the console. So this is the base 64 representation of the image. So as I know, there's quite a lot of text here. And you can also, if you wanted to, you could send this over to a server and you can pick up it as a base 64 and save it on a server. So that requires some back-end coding. So keep that in mind as well, that this is all just front end and we are focused on the front end side of things. So you can also pass this in as a string and create it as an image on the server end if you want to as well. So going into the image, you can open that up on your computer. So what it's done is it's downloaded it, saved it. Can't seem to slide it over, but you have to trust me that that image is there and it's saved on my computer. So once I've finished drawing my image, I can clear the image and it's going to have that pop-up window to clear it. If I cancel, nothing happens. And this is just the default Windows built into the browser window where we can confirm and we can cancel it. So everything seems to be working as expected. So we're ready to do the code review. So opening up the editor, we went through and we set up our basic interface. So we thought of the buttons that we need, the content, the controls that we need in order to initiate our drawing. So we needed to change colors, also the width of the pen. We want to make that adjustable. And then we wanted an option to save it to the computer as well as clear the image and start again. So we created those controls. That was all done with regular HTML elements. And we also created the canvas element where we set the width and the height. You can adjust this as well, or you could use JavaScript to adjust it, which is even better, of course. And then setting up, grabbing that canvas, getting it to render in as a canvas object using getContext. So that gives us the ability to draw with it and render it out. Also, we're updating the canvas, so we're setting the border around that. So that's just regular JavaScript there. Then we're using JavaScript DOM interacting with the controls and the values that we want to use in order to set them dynamically and have the user have control over how they're outputting. Object, then this is at the root. So this is one that we can use to control various values that we need. So we saw when we're drawing on canvas, we needed to have a starting point and as well as the current point. So we did need to track the last X and Y coordinates and then the current X and Y coordinates. And we also wanted to have an option to turn the draw on and off. So when we're moving the mouse, then we also want it to be able to draw if the mouse was pushed down. And if the mouse is up, then we want the drawing to stop. So that's where we've got all of these controls and event listeners that we're listening for. And all of this is happening on top of Canvas. Within the mouse move, we're setting the current position, setting the last position, initiating the draw. So we're just passing in move. We can just leave that blank if we want to as well. So we don't have to pass in any value as it's not really being used. And then draw is where all the magic is happening. This is where all the drawing is happening. So we're checking to see if the value of draw is up or if the value of draw is down. And depending on what it is, then we're adjusting accordingly. So setting the mDraw function to false or true. You could also set this within the mouse up and mouse down and then pass this in and just simply call to draw. So that's another option, another way to do it. And as we know with coding, there's multiple ways to accomplish the same thing. And then the main function is where we're using the draw capabilities where we're creating the path and we're moving the pen to the last position. So this is the last known position. And then we're drawing a line from the last position to wherever the current position is and filling up the stroke color, filling up the stroke width, and then we're finalizing the stroke and then closing the path. And then that gives the ability to to keep drawing. So each one of these are its own draw and opening and closing, beginning the draw and closing the path. So every time it's moving, it's completing all of this functionality. We also added in the ability to clear it which we use the clear rectangle, getting the 0, 0 position of the canvas element, and then taking the offset width and the height so we can get the last coordinates there. And in case our height and width change, then we can always use those values, and that will always clear out that canvas. So in case we have some dynamic canvas sizing, we can accommodate for that dynamically as well within the clear. And then lastly, we had the save image, where we're getting that data URL path. Then we create an element, a hyperlink. We set the attributes of the hyperlink, the href of the hyperlink to the base 64 image. We click the hyperlink, and then we remove the hyperlink from the body, and that initiates the download of that image to the user's computer. So thanks again for taking this course. Thank you so much for all of your support. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one.